Not do it. Yes, he's back. Yes, he's back. Right. Welcome. We've got Antonio Felix Da Costa from the GT team on the left-hand side. In the middle, Nella from Neo 333. And on the right-hand side, René Rast from Audi Sport at Schaeffler. We'll start with you, René. A few years since you last raced in Formula E. How different is the championship since that one-off race in Alexanderplatz in 2016?
Yeah, I mean, between 16 and now it's like 5 years or 4 years, and the cars obviously have changed a lot, but also the whole grid is a lot more competitive. It was already competitive back then, but it looks like the whole field just is on a different level. It's more, close together, more manufacturers, other drivers, more cars on the grid. So a lot of things have changed. Also, the car is more, more like a racing car now. So yeah, a lot of things have changed. Why are you laughing? So yeah, the whole manufacturer.
On that front, how are you finding it going sort of back to single seaters? Because it must be a while since you did proper single seater racing.
Yeah, my last one was Berlin in 16. So obviously it's a big change coming from touring cars to Formula E. But still, after a couple of laps you feel home already. And for me it wasn't really, being in a single seater wasn't the biggest difference, let's say. The position, sitting in the car is not, not a big change, but driving the car is obviously a lot different compared to the DTM car.
Yeah, cool. Well, best of luck for the weekend. We'll now move on to Antonio. Good afternoon. How much have you missed racing in lockdown?
A lot, actually, and we've actually done a lot of sim racing, and me and René actually argued a lot with each other during lockdown. But no, it's funny to get back to the real stuff. This group, this paddock, we travel the world together, and in the end, you have a lot of friends here from other teams, drivers, mechanics, engineers, and it's good to see everyone again, everyone healthy. So yeah, it's good to be back.
We've got over 180 points available over the next 6 races, but you are the championship leader. How does that feel coming into this weekend, and can you stay out front for 6 races?
Well, it's obviously better to arrive here with a small advantage of 10 points or whatever it is, but the chat I had with the team is it doesn't matter at this point. I think we cannot change our approach. It's obviously mentally a different way to go racing, because we have a lot of races in a short amount of time, and it's one trip only. So in the minds of people, it's like there's one race left, but actually there's not. There's 6. So we don't change the approach. We just go for it. Keep the aggressive approach, and obviously at the same time need to keep scoring good points. We've been very consistent, so the package is strong. The team is amazing. So yeah, I'm confident we can be out front. But at the same time, I think we gave these 3-4 months gave big teams which maybe didn't have the best of starts to you have a lot of clever people to go through data and analyze, and I'm sure everyone's done big steps. So I'm expecting a lot of people to be competitive here. So it's going to be tough.
Best of luck. And Dan, turning to you finally. Welcome.
Welcome back.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say welcome.
I've never been gone, just to say that.
New team for the first time in Formula E. How's it been getting used to that after being with Ali for so long?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a brand new environment for me. Went to the team, there was not much time to adapt to so many things. You need to learn the systems, the buttons on the steering wheel, all the people, the procedures. But I've really been welcomed a lot, and the team has made a lot of effort to get me comfortable with everything. And as I have a lot of Formula E experience, I think that helps. I'm not starting from scratch. And yeah, it's been good so far. Everyone really motivated, and so am I. So can't wait to go racing.
Is it more different than you thought it would be, or less different than you thought it would be, or about what you expected?
Honestly, it's less different than I thought it would be, because obviously if you look at the standings right now, I think NIO is not in the place they want to be, and when you arrive there, you would expect the car maybe not to feel that good, but it's really feeling good. I mean, in some areas it even feels better than what I was used to. So it was great to see that. Of course, the hardware we all know is a bit of a deficit, and we cannot change that for now. So that's going to stay. But yeah, maybe we can do a surprise.
And just a word on your successes in Berlin in the past. Obviously, your win here a couple of years ago, with all of the German fans, must have been pretty special for you. How are you feeling it's going to be without the fans?
Yeah, I mean, I had my most amazing day in motorsport here in Berlin. Something that has been absolutely awesome to also share with all the fans, and I think there's no doubt that it's not the same not having the fans around. I mean, they're part of what we do, part of the spirit, part of the sport, and we will badly miss them. But I mean, that's the circumstances we have right now. We have to make the best out of what we have. Try to give people at home a good show, some entertainment in these times, and good racing. And I think that's what we will do.
Best of luck for the weekend. We'll now get some questions from the journalists who are in the virtual media centre. We'll start with this one from Aurora Dagi from F1ingenerale.com. To René Rast, seeing Audi's upcoming withdrawal from DTM, would Formula E remain your preferred path for next year? And if so, would you balance it with customer racing?
Yes, obviously it would have been, well, it's still my preferred option for next year. And I mean, I don't know, obviously, how the collisions are with customer racing, but I think it could be a good program to do Formula E and some endurance racing with customer racing on the side.
This is from Sam Smith from The Race. Will the fact you can do this one, Daniel. Will the fact that we have multiple races and more rubber going down mean the usual penalty for being in Group 1 qualifying will lessen as the week goes on?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, in Berlin in general, it's not like on the street tracks. It's not such a big difference. The year that I had pole, I actually was in Q1, so it's definitely possible. And of course, the more rubber that's coming in, the less of a gap it will be. The track is not dirty anymore, so I think it's really even. Yeah, probably a bit more mix up at the beginning, and then towards the end, it's very little difference.
Tom Wakey from The Independent asks Antonio Felix Da Costa, who do you see as your biggest challenges on the grid?
The other 23 guys.
All of them?
Yeah, I think so. I really do. I think we have to approach it with anyone being able to win it. Porsche, Mercedes, BMW, Jaguars, Nissans, all these guys. I mean, they have so much time to look at what's been done in the first 5 rounds that all of the teams will have made steps forward. So it's impossible to predict now who will be strong, but I'm really expecting everyone to be very close together.
This is from Cynthia Venasio for Daniel. What is your main goal with Neo for these 6 races?
Well, I think that's a bit hard to say right now because we didn't spend any races together. I think it's quite clear they have no points. So for me, the objective is to give them their first points of the season. I think that would be a success and would be amazing, of course. Everything above that would be a highlight, I would say. But for now, I think the goal is really to get together as a team, to understand each other, to make the best out of what we have here. And in Formula E, you never know. It can be crazy sometimes. So if madness is happening, I think we are there and we are ready.
Geronimo asks, how challenging is it to race 6 races in 9 days? How risky is it to damage the car during these days? René, I'll throw this one to you actually. 6 races in 9 days must be quite good for a rookie, right?
Yeah, for me it's basically the best whatever could happen. I mean, to gain experience in such a short period of time has never been in Formula E history. So for me it's a perfect way to learn the car, to learn the environment and everything. So yeah, it's a good part or good let's say good reason to step in and to learn as quick as possible.
Antonio, we've had a few questions here. I'll amalgamate some of them. Christoph Wozniak asked one of them, but you're now a championship leader, but you're in the team with Jean-Eric Vergne. Do you think Jean-Eric is going to be helping you out over the next 6 races and playing a supporting role?
No. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, as I said, there's no reason for anyone not to approach this as trying to win the championship, and Jeff has clearly been doing that. He showed it last year as he didn't have the best of starts to the season. I think at this point Andre was actually a lot ahead of him in the championship, and he came back to win it. So he knows that it can be done, and I can see he's very hungry for it. And hopefully we'll push each other and use that to my advantage as well.
A question here from Filip Djordjevic from gpserbia.rs. For René, has racing in DTM last weekend helped you get into the racing mindset and finding your pace, where for a lot of the other drivers this might be their first race back?
Not sure if it's helping. I mean, it's two different kind of cars, obviously, but obviously, as you say, the racing spirit I'm already used to from last weekend, so I'm basically already did some races in my head, and I experienced some fights and stuff like that, so maybe I'm better prepared. But obviously Formula E is a different animal, and I need to really learn how racing is in Formula E. So I think it's not an advantage, but at least I did some racing already.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining us, gentlemen. Antonio Felix Da Costa, and René Rast. Best of luck for the weekend. Thank you for your questions to those of you in the virtual media centre.